Hey y'all, it's Mac. This week's topic is presenting, and I'm gonna talk about that today. Presenting is something that's different for everyone, no matter their gender. There's no one way to be any gender, and that includes non-binary people. So for this video, I'm gonna be talking mostly about how I present and how I choose to share my gender, but I definitely don't want you all to think that I'm trying to give you instructions on how exactly to be non-binary, because that's not a thing. I personally, try to shoot for androgyny because that's the way I feel most comfortable expressing my gender. Generally, I wear button-down shirts, plaid, a lot of skinny jeans. Are they still called that? Am I still in 2008? I have relatively short hair that I like to play with a lot. I'm trying to get more adventurous in styling it and junk, but that takes a lot of work, and I'm not very good at putting an effort into my appearance. The first time I got my hair cut short, I had long hair my whole life. I saw my mom a couple days later, and she was like, "Are you trying to look like a boy?" And it's like, well, kind of, yeah. But I feel a lot more confident in myself with this style of haircut. I've actually had problems with it when I go to hairdressers. Because I'm not good at expressing anything. And so I'll bring them a picture, and they're like, "Why'd you bring me a picture of a man? You're a girl." And it's like, my chest is something that I get dysphoria about. So generally I do bind. However, I can't really afford a binder. I tried to buy one over eBay, and the sizing was a lot more different than it was actually listed. So that didn't really fit, and I ended up giving it away to someone online. Now I live at home, and so I'm kind of afraid to order another one, and my family be like, "What the heck is this?" So fortunately, I do have a bit of a smaller chest, and so I'm able you can get compression bras, and that actually works very well for me. A lot of people choose to bind with ace bandages. When I was younger and didn't know anything, I would occasionally, but I could never get it to stay on, so I didn't do that very often. But please, please, please do not do that. If you have nothing else right now, I know it's hard, but don't do that. The way ace bandages work is when something expands, it compresses even more. So when you inhale, it's doing its job and squeezing even tighter, which can cause damage to, you can crack ribs, it can cause breathing problems, your back can hurt a lot, so please, please, please don't do that. At some point, I would like to go on testosterone, hormone replacement therapy. I don't know exactly when that can happen in my life. Like I've said, I live at home, and from what I've seen online, changes do tend to happen rapidly, and they're different for everyone. And so I'm not exactly in a safe place at home where I would be able to start taking hormone replacement therapy. I actually had gone to see an endocrinologist about that. She was actually fantastic. And I was one step away. I was a blood test away from starting testosterone, but I started to realize that because of my home environment, it wasn't a good idea for me to start this knowing that I would have to stop, soon, because eventually my family will realize something's going on, and I don't want to have that conversation right now. Past semester, I worked at Walt Disney World, and I feel kind of weird name dropping that, but Disney is a very trans-friendly company. I actually, for my particular job, there was a female costume and a male costume, And I personally felt more comfortable wearing the male costume, and hardly anyone questioned that. My name tag still had my birth name, which is very feminine, on it, but I wore the male costume, and I had one person who was just a fellow coworker say, ask me why I was wearing that, and I told her, I was just like, I want to. And then no one ever questioned it again, and it was great. I did have a couple of supervisors refer to me with they pronouns. I never specifically asked them to, but it was kind of cool that it came out with them. And I know that if I would have said, hey, this is my preferred name, or this is how I identify, it would have been totally fine with them. It was just something that at the time I didn't really have the courage to do. There are a lot of trans-friendly companies. There are a lot of non-trans-friendly companies. And so if you do live in a bigger area where you have more of a choice of where you can work, I would definitely suggest doing research, finding out what company policies are. That's basically it. I don't do a lot of things as far as presenting goes. I just am myself. I wear what I want to wear. I wear what makes me feel comfortable. I try to wear things that look good on me, but I don't know anything about fashion. So yeah, be sure to subscribe, leave comments if you have any. I'm happy to answer them, and see y'all next week.